The final match of the multi-format series between Australia and India took place, and it finished with Australia claiming victory, albeit we have been lucky enough to witness some excellent cricket throughout this multi-format series. So it's now time to review the final T20 match and also the series as a whole here on Cricbuzz. Well, the third T20 I thought might be an opportunity for Australia to blood a few players. They only brought in Annabelle Sutherland, and India, they made one change. Harleen Deol came in for Yastika Bhatia. And India finally won the toss. Can you believe it? And they had no hesitation in putting Australia in. Australia has struggled with the swinging ball, and it happened again. And it was great to see Renuka Thakur pick up her first international wicket. What a great moment for her. And I'm glad to see that there have been new players within this Indian setup that have been given the chance and also performed well. Whilst Elisa Healy went and then Meg Lanning chopped on and hit her wicket, again, Beth Mooney was the standout. The fact that she has been the glue for this Australian side has ensured that they have always chased totals or set really good totals. Her score of 61 off 43 certainly set up the Australian side, but it was another McGrath special. Talia McGrath has had a breakout series, and the fact that she has been able to contribute with the ball and the bat just shows that she is a quality all-rounder. She finished with 44 not out off 31 deliveries, 6 boundaries and 1 massive 6. And if it wasn't for her innings at the end, I don't know if Australia would have reached that 149. It was certainly looking like a 130 total. So she was able to get the Australians into that really competitive total. As for the chase, it all hinged on the Indian openers. And unfortunately, against Shafali Verma just wasn't able to really get going, and she departed for 1 off 3. Smriti Mandana, at one stage, she was 3 off 12, and then finally against Taylor Vlamic, her third over in the power play, she was able to find some freedom, and that really got her going. However, her strike rate never really went above 100, finished with 52 off 49, but played some classy shots, and I can't wait to see her as well throughout the WBBL competition. As for the rest of the Indian orders, well, they just struggled to be able to put some partnerships together. Just when they started to get going, Jemima Rodrigues 23 off 26, Harmanpreet Kaur 13 off 16. They even promoted Pooja Vastrakar because she needed to get going. She didn't fire either. But one player that did is Richard Ghosh. The young wicketkeeper, 23 not out off 11, 2 fours, 2 sixes. I know the Australians were out there, even though when the match was done and dusted, there was a few Hobart Hurricanes that were just smiling quite outwardly, like, yep, she's a player with us, so we're going to utilise that type of hitting in the WBBL. So unfortunately, India were only able to get 135 for 6, falling 14 runs short of Australians total. Australia in the end clinched the series quite comfortably, 11 points to 5, yet those points don't quite show how close this series has been. Standout player for me throughout this series has been probably the ones that have been found. I mean, we expect Smriti Mandana to be excellent. We expect Jhulan Goswami to be able to bowl perfectly, and she did. I do feel that the Australian public and maybe even the Australian team got a chance to see how good she is, just because playing in this format, a pink ball test match, really exposed the skill of the Indian bowlers. But for me, the standout has been Pooja Vastrakar. This Indian side have needed another seamer that can cause a bit of trouble, but also be able to provide some late hitting. She has certainly been able to do that. And also a big shout out to Meghna Singh. I thought she bowled really well in the ODIs and test match, swung the ball nicely. Might be perfect for New Zealand conditions. As for the series, it has been a complete success. There was question marks whether it would go ahead given the COVID situation here in Australia, but I'm so glad it did. And it has started the Australian summer with an absolute bang. We saw some great contests and we were very lucky enough to witness it. For India, 8 players stay back for the WBBL, so they'll be busy on Australian conditions playing in the best T20 domestic competition in the world. As for the rest, they fly home and domestic cricket starts. And then it's a race. It's a race for individuals to put their hands up and say, hey, pick me for the World Cup next year. So I look forward to seeing you guys come next year in the World Cup, but I hope you've enjoyed Cricbuzz coverage throughout this Australia-India series. It has been exceptional, and I can't wait to see you again.